Hello and welcome. Sorry, I know we're slightly late. Oh, later. Oh, goodness. 10 minutes later than I thought. Okay. Um,
Oopsie doodle.
so, welcome to Dragon Memoria. For those of you wondering what this is, well, it's Dungeons and Dragon, or at least we try to be. Uh, don't worry, Fisher is supposed to be there. He's going to be there somewhere between 15 minutes and a half an hour, if everything happens according to plan. Yeah, sorry for being late. I thought it was 10 minutes earlier than it really is. As you might have heard, Skype is closing down, so we did a few tests because we might have to go to Discord because Skype, because Microsoft decided to do the Microsoft thing and make sure that NDI protocol, you need to pay to use them from now on.
I mean,
That's nice.
literally every company is making everything into a subscription service. That's not unique to Microsoft.
No, but the problem is that it wasn't. You didn't need to pay before. Skype had NDI technology free on it. Zoom as well. You can add to it without paying. But Zoom, there's the problem that you have to pay if you want to have a conversation longer than 40 minutes. And now Teams, you have to pay if you want to use NDI technology. Yay! So now I'm going to have to resize the screen manually the moment we switch, but we're most likely going to switch on Discord, which means I'll have more time to try and finish that Discord channel that I've been promising we'll eventually have. Good thing's gonna happen. Well, part, anyways. So, this is why we're late. Sorry for that. Did a few tests, make sure that Discord would work. And yes, we've been able to make a table, so would work. So, sorry. I think I've injured myself with psychic damage. Um, and camera for Jorg works better on Discord, so you might actually see him move from time to
Mm.
time. So okay, so now that the self roasting, well, channel self roasting is done, let's get started. All right, so. Oh yeah, if you like the thunderstorm in the background, it's Ambient Mixer. If you like the world map, it's Wonder Draft. If you like the dungeon map, it's Dungeon Alchemist. If you like the town maps, it's Canvas of Kings. All of which can be found on, well, Wonder Draft and Ambient Mixer. It's a website. The information are below. Information for those are below the window. And Canvas of Kings and Dungeon Alchemist can be found on Steam. I have the information below the window for Dungeon Alchemist, but not Canvas of Kings. I know I'm late. I'm having so much trouble keeping up right now. What was I saying? Dungeons and Dragon. So, if you want to watch us become Dungeons and Dragon at one point, stay tuned. It's a pleasure to have you with us. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. And that's it. That's everything I need to say before we start. All right. So, what happened last episode? Is it right? Oh yeah.
Last time on Monsters and Mazes.
I mean, I think it should be Dragon Memoria, but you know, okay.
Sorry, I was making an old Dexter's Laboratory reference.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think I remember it. It's been a while. It was a good show. I like the monkey part. Monkey. All right, so the party began its journey through the dungeon to the dragon's domain in the hope of reaching its lair, choosing the patch which would test their capabilities instead of their bond as a party and a group of friends, which should probably tell you something about their friendship. They push forward, finding ways to understand where the dragon wanted them to go. Although not the safest way to approach the dragon, it at least meant they would eventually get to its lair. The test demanded several sacrifices, forcing them to reveal their resource and resourcefulness. According to the map, they should already have reached their destination, yet there's a word missing there. Yet they haven't reached the entrance of the dragon's lair. Now, daylight is fading, and a new test is most likely waiting for them. So with this, we get back to the party. Trying to figure out your way through that maze influenced by the will of a dragon. Like I said, slowly the light is fading and the cold air, the outside cold air, is starting to be felt. Because remember, you are... Shut the music. Alright. You are technically in the very beginning of winter, so you're starting to have very chilly mornings. And there's probably snow outside of this forest. It's just going to take a little bit more. You're muted.
I would say it's a good thing we all still have the Ring of Cold. Or Ring of Warmth, not the Ring of Cold. That wouldn't be very helpful.
Make us colder.
So, the light is fading and the cold air is starting to enter inside of the forest. You've been at this for nearly 8 hours now. You've escaped the last challenge. You're following as best you can the trail, following the magic, how it folds, how it pushes you in a direction. With Remy and Fisher's detect magic and audience's knowledge of dragons, there's an element of familiarity with all of this because essentially you've been living in the domain of a dragon all of your life, so you're kind of used to how the forest around your village reshaped itself nearly to the will of the dragon.
Should we spend the 10 minutes to resummon our boy, or should we let him rest for now?
That is
Well,
a
it doesn't
valid
take
question.
10 minutes, but...
No, that 1 minute.
It
sorry.
only takes 1 minute. But
I was thinking of the time I tried to summon him in combat. It was 10
rounds, yeah.
And it wasn't him, it was Turane, but that doesn't hear it.
Although, no, wouldn't it be something if you summon him now and it's Turon Hay that appears? Remember, every time...
That could be useful.
Every time you summon him, I roll, and if it's a natural 20, it's going to be Turon Hay.
That is true.
In my head is Turan Hay can like move around, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, he could.
Okay, that's what I
Turane
thought,
would
but,
actually... This
in
would
my
be
head-
one of the situations Turane would actually be decently useful. It would not screw things up because we're actually outside in a forest. It would be quite useful.
So yeah, technically speaking, his power would probably be a severe nuisance for that dragon because Turon A is considered the champion of a I keep forgetting what they're called. primordial,
Mm.
which means essentially on your world, the equivalent in power would be Turane is a demigod.
Yeah.
It's like
We'd
having
go from a minor threat to suddenly a very major, like extreme threat.
Mm-hmm.
Bend in the kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I don't know if we would change. Turane would suddenly become a figure that could potentially actually kill the dragon on his own, so the dragon would be scared of that. But anyway,
So yeah,
do we want to try and summon Voronak? Or maybe Turane?
but
Most likely Voronak.
95% chance of Onak.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely, you can. And as a matter of fact, you have several decisions coming up. One, do you want to resummon him? But like Remy brought up, or wanted to try and brought up, but charade its way into people mostly understanding what he meant. You can't be sure that if you summon him inside of the forest, because he does adopt elements of the forest when you summon him from a forest, he could potentially be a spy if you do this.
Mm.
I mean, don't we still have the plant? The like special. Don't we still have like the
In the
plant?
pot?
Yeah,
I said potentially. I didn't say absolutely. I said
yeah.
potentially.
But I'm saying if we plant him in the pot, then we're probably fine as long as we don't plant him in the soil.
Where here's the thing. Should I give you the answer to that?
Okay, if we plant him in the pot in my realm, so it has no connection to the outside world of the dragon, there should be no influence.
So long as you close the door, yeah. It suddenly becomes a demiplane.
Yes.
Then when he comes back through,
Well, no. Once he comes back, we already have seen that he's been summoned. He's fine once he's summoned. We don't.
I mean, just, like entertaining the avenue. It's like, of the group, who would be or which of the number of us would be able to determine, like, or at least come to a reasonable conclusion about the influence of this forest on summoning Oranak in it.
Jorg probably would have the best bet.
Yes, the answer that Remy doesn't want to hear.
Yeah, unless one of the priestesses I hung around with was a summoner, and I saw summon things within the forest with the dragon when I was a child, which I don't know. I'm not gonna say whether it
Summoners
was or
aren't
not.
common, but
So-
we did establish that you knew what they were. So, yeah.
Man, why
So-
are all the squirrels that she summoned like breathing poison flames?
Yeah, so unless I'd seen something of that sense from when I was a child, then it would definitely be Jorg.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you can assist me by teaching me the ways of this green dragon magic before I try and deduce this.
I mean, I can assist you, sure. I can tell you about what I've seen of green dragon magic if that helps you, and then you can make a roll.
Yeah, like as a help action.
That's what I'll do. It's up to the DC, not the DC, the DM if he lowers the DC or gives you advantage off that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because dragons aren't natural creature, it wouldn't be a nature roll.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're trying to ascertain about Ohunak. Nature could work for him. There's religion because that's the base of your power. So that's your equivalent of Arcana. And who knows? Maybe audience knows enough to help you figure this out. So, I mean, that's a bit of a convoluted chain of event, but I'd say audience would roll intelligence. Although quite literally for you, dragons are a religion.
It's the same roll for me.
Okay.
Off of intelligence.
religion or our intelligence is the same roll? Okay.
Yeah.
But the result would be slightly different. Religion would rely on what your dragon told you, while intelligence would rely on what you learned about dragons.
I'm gonna roll intelligence.
Okay.
Decent. Middle. 13. A little above average for me with an intelligence roll. 13.
Okay. So essentially, audience doesn't tell you anything that's groundbreaking, but he does bringing a few precision. Most likely also about what it means for dragon when you are in his domain and in his lair, which gives him quite a heavy ability to influence everything that's there. And you can just look around and see that the audience is not exaggerating. The light literally has an emerald color to it because it's a green dragon. So on your part now, taking into account audience's role, I'd make you roll, Jorg, for religion or Arcana.
Well, religion's better, so...
For you, usually.
Ooh, 23.
23, all right. So, judging with what audience said, it definitely helped a little, not a whole lot. Because you rolled above average, but not exceptional. You get the feeling that maybe if you had been a woman, maybe he would have been more motivated to explain it to you better. Or it would have made him more nervous because he keeps fumbling every single roll he makes in front of a woman. So, but it's a pretty good roll for you, Jorg. Yeah, I'd say you'd have concern, not certainty, but concern. When you were... No, that's right, you weren't there. When you're stuck inside of another realm, the nature of the realm prevails over anything. Which is why when the party needed to summon Ohunak inside of the stagnant shard, they needed holy water for him to grow, because it was the only way to reactivate life. Here, there is concern, but not certainty. What's that?
Well, guess it's there's a chance that he will be corrupted, but well, I guess.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
if there's a chance,
Because there's the problem that you need to open the storage. And so the nature of everything around it will seep in while you're doing this. But
then we'll also close the storage and make it a different realm.
That's
Which I
right. That's the element of uncertainty. Is that moment when the two realms collide enough to give an opening to the dragon that's there? If it isn't, either because he doesn't know that he needs to look for this, or because his influence is not all-encompassing like a different shard, then you're going to be okay. But if he knows he's looking for this, or if his influence is omnipresent, then yes, there's a chance.
Okay, I think we risk that. I don't think that. I think that.
And like, how corrupted? Because like, even
I
if
think we also
he's
have
already
some faith in him,
can
like
see
to
us.
resist it. We also have to have faith in
Yeah.
Oranak himself, I think, to resist it.
Although, I will go ahead and throw this out there, just more of an above-table observation. I would say that because the entire purpose of this path is that he is trying to, well, rather, by us doing this path, he's going to learn of our capabilities. It's something that I think we could probably get away with doing once, but then a second time he might be ready for it. Because he hasn't seen our dimensional storage yet, and he hasn't actually seen that we have summoned Oranak before. So he's not actually looking for
That is true.
that possibility. But I think once he sees it, then he might be more ready for it if we have to do it again.
That is fair.
Also,
But I would still.
Yeah, this is an extremely valid point, because now he will know that your healer is a summoned creature, which has its own specific set of rules, which audience would be very aware of, because you keep summoning your mount, and Jorg can summon.
Well, he doesn't know it's our healer yet, because I don't think he's seen Oranak heal.
But he knows that one of your party member is a summoned creature.
Yes, that is true. But he also has seen Oranak unsummon, so I assume he has already figured that out.
All
I don't know. I think we go.
We were traveling around with a tree companion, and in his dying breath gave us his child.
Yeah, or that. But I think we just audience is gonna open his storage. Enough conversation. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna risk it. I'd rather have him here with us. So making the decision.
Well, if we're going to make that decision, can we at least make sure that, even though he's not here yet, have Fisher do it?
Yeah, we can have Fisher do it.
Because, there's still like the whole oxygen thing.
Yeah, no, we can have Fisher do it. That's fine. But we'll have Fisher do it. But we can do that so we can move on.
And then we're going to have Jorg examine him. Fisher, I mean. Jorg's in
Stick a hammer to his knee.
So I guess we have Fisher go with the acorn into my realm. I'll open, I'll close, he'll water, Oranak will summon, and then we'll let them both out.
Okay. So. You go inside. I was hoping Fisher would be there by now, but he said he was going to be there around this time. All right, so sorry, got text message that was weird, distracted me a bit. All right, so he goes inside. Plants Oranak. And then, come on, I'm busy. Plants Armagnac. Then comes out, maybe. Well, no, he can't come out on himself, so audience has to wait. How long do you wait, you know? You're muted.
Like 90 seconds. So like 30 seconds past the minute that I know it takes to summon.
Okay. All right, so...
Just to make sure.
Right.
He's fully summoned.
Hold on. I'll turn off my phone alarm because... I don't know. I think someone's trying to send me messages, but it's not the right time to receive messages. So... Sound off.
What if they're trying to declare their undying love for you?
Oh, the worst is you might not be that far, but it's maybe not the kind of person that I want to receive that from. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you wait 90 seconds, about 2 minutes. When I want to see audience go down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then when you get to 71, 72, 77, 78, 79. After about 2 minutes, you open the storage again. And you sort of have a moment where you're sort of relieved because you forgot that if Tourane came out of this, he would crush everything inside. But it's Arunak that comes out. So out of that moment, whew,
Alright.
I forgot about that.
Alright. Ornak, are you manipulated by a dragon, or are you good?
I don't know. How do you know? Are you manipulated by a dragon? He looks at you, audience, when he says that.
Alright, it's him. We're good.
We hope.
He just looks at you, Jorg.
I am.
He didn't answer. He shows you. He tells you to come closer, George. I think he's avoiding the question.
Audience answers no truthfully about this dragon. The lie detector still goes off, and he's very confused.
Yeah, it's one of those lie detector tests that the streamers like to take with their significant other.
No.
What do
Are
you
you being
mean?
manipulated by a dragon? Audience is like, no, I'm not. I'm not being. I'm just audience. Lie detector goes off. He's like, wait, what? But I'm not.
Right. All right.
Did you lie on your taxes?
No. What?
Shame.
Shame.
Are you ashamed of it? No. Come on.
Shame. I'm part of the debt collectors. No.
All right, so Alanak seems to be okay. Jor, you can always make a religion or nature check with Alanak. This is more nature because he's literally a nature elemental, and religion because that's your arcana. So you can make either if you want to investigate him further.
Yeah, I'll do a like I said, the same. I'll do a nature on him. I got an 18.
Okay. As far as you can tell, he looks okay. He's still slightly grumpy, and he still likes to, hey,
I'm here.
Fisher!
I made it.
Yay!
You've just been shoved. Well, you just came out of audience's dimensional storage where you had been shoved in order to summon Orunak, but everyone had forgotten that there's a 5% chance that Turan come out. But fortunately, you weren't crushed by the wrong one coming out inside a very closed space.
Cool.
You were a sacrifice we were willing to make.
Sounds about right.
And audience evaded answering the question when the audience asked Arunak if he was being manipulated by a dragon. So Arunak returned the question, and the audience avoided answering.
Nice.
All right.
So
I guess we keep going.
yeah, as
Our
best as
party's
you
all
can
back
tell,
together.
Jorg, he doesn't. Arunak doesn't seem to be under the influence of anything. Um,
Hmm.
but you know, it's just that now you are 98% sure he's okay. You know, if he'd managed to
Those are-
roll above 20, you'd be 100% sure. But
Mm. Oh well. The odds are pretty good.
so yeah, you're mostly convinced that he's okay.
Hmm.
All right. Let's keep going then. We got ground to cover and lights fading.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
I was wondering if it were my eyes that were seeing things weird. All right, we'll go. So, yeah. As you move forward and you keep pushing, you're reaching that 8-hour mark. So, Jorg, the spell that you were using to move quickly, wind walk, fades. And being roughly the equivalent of the first week of December, when you are right now, it's cold. The light is nearly completely gone, but as best you can tell, you should already be at the entrance of the dragon's lair. Meaning, either he's keeping away through illusions, which means you could be there at any moment, or you truly are far away, which creates a 50-50 chance of something bad happening, because now you have to make a decision. Light is about to fade. You can keep going in a completely dark forest by using your own means of light and risking fatigue, or risk sleeping. In the
I'd
domain
really
of the
rather
dragon.
not risk sleeping this deep into his domain.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest.
Question: do we have any indication of how far we have to travel?
Judging from the map that you had when you started, that you were shown, you should already have reached the entrance to the lair. You should have reached it an hour ago. Now, you know that you got a little bit lost, so it might just be that you're behind schedule because of that. But there is the possibility that the entrance is being kept away by illusions. Or it's really that you're just about finding it, and it's just over there and being kept out of your eyesight by illusions.
So I am just going to throw it out there that if we do a forced march, for every hour that we travel without resting, like we have to make a Constitution saving throw, and the DC is equal to 10 plus however many hours we've been traveling beyond the 8-hour mark.
Yeah. I think
Mm-hmm.
we go for a bit, and I really don't want to risk. I mean, from all of audience experience, I don't want to risk like sleeping in a place that's completely controlled and watched over by the dragon. I would
Yeah.
really.
I'm just making sure that the
rather
party
avoid it.
understands the risks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
I don't think we
I
push
don't
it
know, if
past
we
like
want-
3 hours. I don't think we push past 3 hours, but I think because if we haven't found it in 3 hours, then we're obviously not figuring something out. But if we go like as he said, like we should be about on it, so we should at least go the first hour, to see if we can find it.
I think we should
Mhm.
play it by ear, depending on how tired we get.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, there's a risk to that too, because the weaker we get, then the more risk there is of sleeping with the weaker we get. But
well, I'm saying, like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm thinking more from getting the worst condition in the game, aside from
Yeah.
yes. However, our saves are very good for at least like the first. Like it's very unlikely we fail the first save,
I mean,
especially with the +3 bonus I'm giving.
Oh, I know for a fact that I'll be able to pass like the first couple of them just fine. But
Yeah.
I think Jorg
Mhm.
only has like a +2, +3.
he's got like a +4. Jorg is a
So that would
beefy
still
boy.
be a
Yeah.
+7. That would still be a +7 with my buff. Which means, I mean, I definitely think we at least go an hour. I think we
Yeah.
at least go an hour, maybe 2, just to like, because
And-
as he said, we shouldn't be that far from it.
And at the very least, during this hour, Raimi is going to do his best to see if he can, especially if it is a question of illusion, if he might be able to detect some sort of imperfection or inconsistency in the illusion that might be indicating the hidden entrance to the lair.
Okay, that's investigation.
And I know this doesn't help see through illusions specifically, but I will cast see invisibility just in case
Okay.
that helps.
Yeah.
And I will cast guidance.
On who?
Attaboy.
Whoever's doing the investigating, I assume that was
Your
Raimi.
best friend.
That would be Remy.
Yeah. Yeah,
I will-
Raimi.
I
I
can't
will-
wait. So I'll cast see invisibility on myself, and then I will upcast enhance ability on Fox's cunning on Raimi and myself to give us both advantage on intelligence checks. And I would also like to make an investigation check.
Okay.
That just means we'll make our own checks.
I will shine my mace so we have light.
And I will open Arunak's character sheet.
So, D&D Beyond just said I don't have access to my character sheet. What's happening?
Because the D&D
Let me
Beyond
do
is
it.
me.
It's been stolen by Russian hackers.
No.
No. They have all your characters now.
They
a lot.
know.
Not sure what they're
Now
gonna do
they
with
get
them.
to play D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Well,
Like a
Raimi, I hope
Russian
you
Draken
did better.
Memoria start.
That would kind of be weird. You get an invitation to play. From who? President of Russia. What? As long as he's not the dungeon master, because we know he's gonna cheat.
Oh, I get it. He doesn't have many friends, so he actually has to force people to play with him by holding their character sheets hostage.
Oh, okay. So,
I'm gonna use my coin.
Even with advantage?
I rolled a 5 and a 1, so
Oh.
he keeps getting distracted by audience.
oh my god, that was a 7. So 15.
You know, you gotta stop watching audience's mace directly. It's not helping
Yeah,
you.
it's killing my night vision. You can just keep staring at it.
Audience has his shield on his back and forgot to turn off the impact. He just keeps charming Fisher.
You see Fisher going, all right, let's look.
What did you cast guidance on again?
That what?
Raimi.
Okay, I just didn't want. I just wanted to make sure I didn't roll a d4 for.
Seeing as he cast it before I said I was doing a check, so.
I mean, it's still a nice boost, though. It's like with advantage, I got a 30 at the die, or with the guidance.
There we go. I got half that.
Yeah, see, I need more brownie points with Raimi than I need with you.
Exactly. That's fair.
You ever considered
where did these
actually giving
brownies
him
come
brownies?
Yeah.
All right. So, Raimi,
Everything's George Bake.
Fisher doesn't have a use for bread.
He gets baked. I don't know if he can bake.
well, knowing Jorg, the problem is he's going to make the special brownies. You know, the one using mushrooms he picks. So, 30. You know, that's a decent roll.
Not bad.
You know, a dragon could do better, but we're going to give you that at least. You're not a dragon, so it's... It does take a moment, even though it is exceptional, and you sort of have that moment of, wow, everything looks exactly how it should. That's disturbing. Because I can't...
And that's the suspicious part.
Oddly enough, eventually, it does become the suspicious part. It's too perfect. And you sort of realize that you're stuck in a huge donut. You're going in circle, but you get the impression that there's something in the middle of that circle. The reason for that donut to have been placed there is to put you in range of what's in the middle of the donut.
So then he's getting the impression that actually that could mean two different things. Either it's because what's inside the donut is precious, or because the being in range of the donut keeps us in line and in check.
Need to go for the hole.
Mm-hmm.
The real donut. Which brings us back to the history of the donut.
First, a brief lecture on soap.
We just have to go 90 degrees to the direction we want to go. So if we think we should go this way, just turn to the left 90 degrees and go that way.
Well, here's the problem, and the audience would be able to tell you about that. If you go 90 degrees in the wrong direction, you're going to go into the part of the forest that the dragon has seriously trapped, and it's going to hurt the further you push forward.
Mm.
It's a very thick layer of bramble and thorns, and it's really difficult to move forward in this. And it will slash at you, it will tear your flesh as you're trying to move through all of that. And even though audience is leaving us right now, it was kind of nice. It looked like he was walking away in the background that he has. um, Audience would be able to tell you that if you make the wrong decision, it's gonna start hurting really fast.
Okay. How dangerous is it to sleep in here? Should we?
Highly dangerous.
All right.
We're basically sleeping in a place where the dragon has eyes on us at all times, which means if he chooses to, we could be ambushed in our sleep at any time.
Yeah, and even if we have a watcher, I don't trust what we can see.
Especially since you've just seen Fisher get stuck on Audience's shield and then mace, one after the other. Now that's going to be the person watching over the camp.
Yeah, highly dangerous to
You
sleep.
mean nothing escapes my.
Like, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's like, oh, it's like we're gonna die if we sleep, but it is very risky to sleep. It's not like something we should just do.
Yeah.
I'd say Annie would probably add to this if Audience expresses his doubt about sleeping there out loud. She would say, and of course, your minds are at their weakest while you sleep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
a lot of bad. Just not a lot of good things. If we sleep.
True.
She looks at you, Jorg, for a brief moment and says, don't worry, I won't tell anyone about your dreams. And she gives you a wink.
Horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Jorg is just playing The Last of Us every night.
All right, so we have a choice, right? So we can either keep following the path, or we can.
The huge question about this path is what is at the center. If it's the dragon's lair, then that's the thing. You're going around in circle in the entrance that you need to find. If it's something bad, then you're letting something bad watch you as you run around in circle. And if you decide to not follow the path, well, you have a 50% chance of walking literally in hostile terrain.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I think the whole following the path. I think like if we wanted to not follow the path, that was like I don't think the path. I assume there might be a final test the dragon puts in front of us, but I think that not following the path could just end to us like wandering around again forever while like taking minor damage and stuff to like traps. I think that.
Well, if we're in a donut and we keep following the path just goes in a circle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I thought it.
That's the vibe I got. Is that
the path wraps around
circles.
Itself. You've reached an end. You don't know if it's the lair, but you've reached an end.
Oh, we have reached an end.
Yeah, because the path goes around in circle. So you are intentionally being led in a circle to watch you or to prevent you from finding something. That's the question that you.
Okay, so we have to leave the path. Is what you're saying? We're just going.
Yes.
Or try and trigger the trap. Or pick the right direction, 50-50, so that you don't get injured.
Well, it's not 50-50. We still have to follow the rules we've come across, which are it's going to be somewhere where life is probably more. There should be a clue. It shouldn't be a true 50-50. There should be a clue which way to go here. The question is, can we find the clue?
What makes you say that?
No illusion is perfect.
Yeah, no illusion is perfect, basically.
All right.
So, I guess if we're going off the path and we're going either to the right or to the left, let's look at our options both ways and see if we can find anything.
Can we tell which way is into the middle of the donut versus outside the donut? Or is it just...
The donut is a bit snaky in its shape. It's not a perfect round. You get a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, but Remy eventually managed to figure out, as if he was walking inside of a 1970 cartoon. It's seamless, but we just keep seeing the same thing over and over and over and over.
I'm going to try this. Let me look. I'm going to look at A. I'll be like, listen, you spend your entire life with a dragon. Do you get a more dragony sense from either turning right or turning left here?
All right, there she is. Is that it? I thought I had more. Okay. She looks around for a bit. She looks back at you. I don't know. It's strange. It feels like this actually is a test. But a test of what? Is it a test of determination? A test of courage? Either way, I think we're always going to be led back here.
So
it's not just an illusion. That's why it was so hard to see. It's as if the forest itself has been wrapped on itself. That's why I feel like it's a test. The question is the test, are we willing to go to break the circle or to face the center? I can't figure that out.
So that's what I was asking before. So if we keep going, we are going to face the center. We're not going to just go back to the beginning.
No, it's not meant to throw you back at the beginning of the forest.
Okay. That's what I was... Okay. I think My knowledge of green dragons is it's gonna force us to face what it wants us to face, no matter what we do. So I'd rather just face it.
Yeah, but we haven't, like, well, how do we face it?
We just keep following the path. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what we've been doing all day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'm getting two different out of game. I'm getting two different information from it. He's saying if we follow the path, we go to the center, or we keep going in circles. That's
We
what
keep
I'm
going
confused.
in circles if we follow the path. Right?
No, I thought
The
he just
path-
said
That's what
we
I
find
thought.
the center.
The path always leads you back to where you were, meaning that there's something at the center of it. So is the challenge to go in circle until what's at the center of it goes for you, or for you to break the circle and try and move away?
Alright, so
I'm-
basically, from my understanding then, just breaking it down to the simplest terms, do we disobey the rules of the game and try to create our own path? It's like, or do we play by his game and allow the creature or entity at the center find us like he wants us to?
And I'm saying we should play his game.
I trust you and your knowledge of dragons.
Or let me put it this way: I don't think we can afford to not play his game. At the point we're at right now, I think we'd have had to make that decision far earlier in the day if we were going to not play his game.
Well, we didn't really have the decision.
Well, we could have got off the path like
I
immediately.
get, yeah.
But
Yeah.
more my point is I think we've reached a point where if we're gonna reach him, we're gonna reach him the way he wants us to reach him. We don't have the luxury anymore to just forge our own path with the knowledge we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so?
Or wait, how? Never mind. I'm going back to sleeping because I thought of the tiny hut that Raimi can make.
Also,
But,
remember what I said about green dragons wanting to think that they're always in control. It's going to be less likely he lets us find him if he doesn't think he's in control. Now, he will see us. There's a risk because he'll see us as less of a threat. But there is, I think, an initial more likelihood we find him if he thinks he has full control of the situation than if he doesn't think he does. But there's also the higher risk that he doesn't see us. He sees us as weaker because of that. But I think we, at this point, have to take that risk.
You don't think you'd see us as strong enough to...
From what you know of dragons,
get an audience if we break the game he's trying to play?
From what you know, audience, if he hasn't outright attacked you all, it's because he think that there is at least a small chance that he could get injured in this.
Yeah. No, I think that a green dragon is not the dragon to care about strength. A green dragon isn't going to respect, like, oh, they beat their own path, so I respect that. So now they can see me. That's not how a green dragon thinks.
All right.
A green dragon wants you crawling in on your knees to greet him. Not
And if
forging
you
your
kick
not
in the
for-
door,
If you kick in the door, that's gonna like shock and surprise him, but that's not gonna make him want to see you more.
well, yeah, but then you're in the room. Right.
Yes, but do you think we can kick in the door? We don't even know what door to kick at this point.
well,
We're still
yeah,
we're still
but just- I'd rather try and kick a door than crawl in. But I guess, yeah, I don't have any experience with dragons, so.
Here's my most likely thing that I think occurs. I will tell you straight up. I mean, I'm saying this in my mind, not out loud. But like, I think the most likely thing that occurs if we try and kick a door right now is he goes, "Oh, they're trying to forge their own path." He makes it hurt, and then he puts us right back in the spot again, but like weaker than we were before. And then it's like, now you're gonna have to crawl, but you're even more injured. Unless you can guarantee that we get it the first time. So I think we face the challenge that was set, and we prove ourselves through that challenge.
All right. I haven't seen a challenge yet, so.
I think everything has been a challenge.
Above table,
Yep.
especially given the nature of what we are currently on right now, what we are actually doing probably is the challenge.
Yeah.
Basically, because we've been traveling all day. He knows that we're about to become exhausted. So if anything, he might be hoping that we exhaust ourselves and be able to pick us off when we're at our weakest.
Yeah.
So let's try to make sure that we are minimizing how exhausted we get if we decide to go this route. So that we're not completely at a literal and figurative disadvantage when we have to face him.
We have to face him. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Even one level of exhaustion means disadvantage on, say, charisma checks.
And you're just about to have to make that roll because Remy's been looking around, you've been walking a bit, you've been arguing about this for over 15 minutes, so you're just about at the end of that first hour where you need to make your first roll.
Alright, we can't keep wasting time. I'm voting, if people vote against me, I'll follow what you want, but I think we follow the path and face the challenge the Green Dragon has set.
Alright.
Anyone voting against me or no? To kick it. I mean,
No.
I'm personally just in favor of a decision. So
Yeah.
Okay,
we're following-
we keep
okay.
following the path.
we're following the path.
All right. So, even though you know it may be a trap, you decide to follow the path. You follow the path for another 20 minutes. You start feeling that fatigue creeping in. You have to make that first roll to see how well you withstand that exhaustion.
Con save, correct?
Constitution saving throw, yes.
yeah. So since it's the first hour, you had to beat a DC 11.
Hey,
Do we
that's
get the
exactly
plus
what
3?
Arvenak rolled.
Yes.
From does the audience give me? Okay, so
Yes.
I hit 11.
Yeah, you saved because of me.
Yeah.
What did you roll? Like
Thank
a
you.
2?
He rolled like
I
an 8.
rolled
He
a-
rolled an 8.
I rolled
Well,
a
he got an
3.
8 overall. But yeah,
And
because he
yeah,
got the
yeah,
I
plus
rolled
3
a
for
3,
me.
got plus 5, and then got the plus 3, which got me exactly to 11.
Actually, yeah, because of audience, I don't think I have to bother rolling because I can't fail this first save.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Fisher, I got a
Same.
26.
My
I got
recent level
a
up
16.
was con saving throw proficiency. So
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, I got a 26.
All right. You all feel a bit of that exhaustion creeping in, but you are all good enough, fit enough to keep pushing forward.
Oh yeah.
Remy, you keep having that really annoying feeling that you're being led in circle, but that is the choice that you all made. You decided to keep going. It is when you start feeling something that's looking at you.
Hey, I just thought of something.
Yeah.
It's a little off topic, but the fact that we feel like something's looking at us and we're just going in circles, not getting anywhere. It's kind of like we're in a cage on a hamster wheel, and the dragon's just watching us on the run around the hamster wheel.
I'd compare it more to a rat's maze, but yeah, okay.
All right, something's watching us.
It's more than
Sometimes
watching.
it feels like someone's watching me.
It's more than watching you. You get a sense of both amusement and intrigue. As if you
Terrifying feelings, but sure.
from inside of you. Well, except for Fisher because he's used of hearing something talk from inside of him. But from inside of you, you feel that emotion coming up. Of something being intrigued by what you're doing. Feeling amused. You feel the gaze turning toward you, audience, for a moment. And it turns back to all of you. You all suddenly feel like you're being watched. And coming from everywhere at once. You hear, interesting. I don't know if it's foolish or brave. Let's see. I am willing...
Do we all hear that?
Oh yes, you hear it. But it seems to be coming from everywhere at once. I wonder if I tell you, you will find exactly what you're looking for by moving forward. Are you going to keep moving forward? Or are you going to stop? Let's see what you do, little pawn.
Sounds like a green dragon to me.
Audience, you know that not 5th edition dragon, but my dragons. Many dragons have a chance of becoming able to talk with telepathy as they grow older.
Audience is thinking about the games of dragon chess he played, since it said pawn. Against his master, and he lost every single one. But we don't talk about that.
You never won a chess game against your master, but it's okay. So that's the message that you all heard. If you keep moving forward, you will find what you seek.
That dragon thinks we can't be foolish and brave at the same time.
I mean, audience is like, cool. He said we're going to find what we seek. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point digging into that.
Green
Yeah,
dragons are pretty trustworthy
why
guys.
not? I guess.
Yeah, I really am starting to be on a Fisher's side here, but
From inside of you, Fisher, you hear. So now he's making us tools. The tool leading the tools.
Well, which one's the hammer and which one's the nail?
You keep moving forward for maybe another 30 minutes. You start feeling that fatigue coming up again. But at the same time,
oh god.
audience, you have that moment of anticipation because you know that he's not going to make you go around in circle until you completely wear yourself out. Please, not right away. You've piqued his curiosity, and that is good, but also bad.
Bad. Step 1 complete. Second step, survive step 1.
You hear a branch snap in the forest.
Audience divine senses.
Panic.
Your sense expand and comes back the same way a sonar would. And it slams into you like a chill of cold air. You've felt that before. But this one is so much more powerful than the first one. That's a fallen paladin.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Battle formations. There's a fallen paladin incoming. I don't know if it has any troops with it. We're being tested.
All right.
Like rubbing two magnets of the opposite of the same charge. Jeez. With that reverberation coming also, you have confirmation, audience, that your light against his darkness is stronger than your light.
We heard that story before.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Do we have any light spells? Let's light up the area.
Firewall.
Light spells, not fire spells.
Burn down the
Few
forest.
more
Something besides me casting daylight and using my level.
I can cast the cantrip light, or Terranad can cast the cantrip light. That's what I could do.
Do
I
we
will
have,
do
like-
it.
Yeah, like, can we do, like, light on, like, rocks and, like, throw them around the area? And plus my mace just to, like, light up the area.
I believe I've tried that before. I believe you can only have one object.
One object.
Yeah, if you cast it again, it.
Okay. I mean,
And
my
so the
mace
first
does
thing-
do, like, the 60 feet light, so the area is decently lit up, but I don't know if this guy has magical darkness or not. We will see.
Alright. So you let out light, push forward. Try and light up as much as you can, as far as you can. for a brief moment, you can't see much because the night is literally moments away. Probably outside of the forest, it's the last few moments of light. It's just, the sun is just, not even the sun is about to disappear behind the mountains. It has disappeared. But there are still the last few remaining rays of light. And then, Remy, you're probably the first one whose senses catch a glimpse of what's walking around. You see a tall figure, completely armored, full plate, with a long cloak. It's got a long sword on its waist. It's got a real great sword, not the great sword that you see in D&D right now. So closer to a polearm, which is why it's using the stats of the glaive.
Fair enough.
So it's a real great sword, taller than him, and even though he has the general shape of a human, he looks taller, and his sword is taller than him. So you're facing someone who has a sword that is at least 7 or 8 feet tall.
Okay.
There are branches coming out of his armor, which tells you that during his life, when he was not a fallen paladin, he might have followed the oath of the ancient. Which means,
Or
So
he
he
was
has
the
un-
very
so he has
rare
undead.
multi-class druidin.
So he is undead.
you think he is undead? Yes. Because the only way that a death knight is born is when a fallen paladin is brought back against its will. It is essentially a lich, but for paladins.
No.
Usually they are nearing the end of their evolution, or their evolution has been completed. So in D&D term, when he fell, audience, you're pretty sure he was somewhere in the cusp of level 18, 19, or 20.
Oh, good. That's what I want to hear. Okay.
Yeah, but then he died, so now he's less powerful.
But also, audience, he was following nature, which means he might have been completely turned by the dragon.
So, guys, I will not be 1v1ing this guy. But I need
Oh,
your, I'm gonna
what?
need your, I'm gonna
What do
need
you
your
mean?
help
You
on
got
this one.
I believe in you.
I know
Let
I
us
love
know
my
how it
1v1.
goes.
I
We're
know
gonna
I
be
love my
way over
1v1s,
there
but
behind the tree.
I'm not winning this one. if I 1v1 this guy.
You see his eyes flare up, and he stops right in front of all of you. Now, I forgot to make a map, so we have an old map that I'm bringing back.
I would like to say before he attacks, though,
Yep.
just before or we do the combat, I do want to lean in to Ami before he attacks, and I'll be like, I'll be like this. Unless we desperately need it, I don't know your combat ability, but try and hold your cards back. I still, unless we're on the verge of death, try and hold your cards back. I don't want to show everything still. Let's see if we can overcome this with our own strength.
She nods. She takes out the yo-yo that she has, and she starts playing with it. You see it light up. There's 2 little beads of energy at the center of it. The string seems to be made of pure light. And it is, all right then, let's go with this.
All right, guys, I've just taken away our greatest asset, but we also that might help us later.
All right.
I did say if we were about to die, she could pull out more cards. So let's see how far we can get on our own here.
All right. Want to take the break before the fight starts?
Let's
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably should.
Let's roll initiative first.
Roll
You wanna
initiative
roll
first?
initiative?
Okay.
I'm down.
I think we can talk this guy out of this fight, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, of course, of course.
Jorg got a 14.
Jorg got a 14.
Solid.
Okay.
Audience got a 19.
Audience got a
Go on.
19. Okay, that's good.
Fisher got a 19.
Fisher got a 19 as well. Wow, your group is psyched. Come on, come on.
I only get a 16.
Oh, it's better than Jorg.
I rolled
better
fine.
Onak has a 13. Your companion is holding back, so I rolled her with disadvantage for initiative, which means she has the lowest initiative. And your enemy. I have... Okay. Enemy, here. Alright. Psyched for combat and ready to go. We are going to go to
Oh, yeah.
the break for this. And... Oh yeah, Arwenak. Alright. Alright. We're gonna go to the break with this. And figure out how I can remove that window that just popped up in my chat after I banned someone.
Alright.
Hold on.
I will be back.
Music.
Me too.
Rain. Let's go. Alright. Alright, see you in 15 minutes. Bye. Hello and welcome back. As you can see, we have a battle map. And oh look, we've got color tokens. That's for all of the possible walls. Because George keep making walls, so I have to have a token of every color. One for each wall. I've named them according to the walls. So you can do a wind wall, a water wall, a thorn wall, a stone wall, a light wall, an ice wall, a force wall, a fire wall, and a prismatic wall. I have a token for all of them.
Damn.
Alright. Well, this one needs to be a bit of a more ominous music for fight.
This does feel a little bit like a boss fight, so just a little bit. You know, high level undead paladin. You know, just screams a little bit boss fight.
And just, to drive the point even more, audience, when you see him getting ready, go into position ready for fighting, he takes his glaive, two-handed sword, in his hands. You feel that sword also pushing back toward you. Yeah, of course. It needed to be. Because he fell, and that sword used to be a holy avenger. So now it's an unholy avenger. Cool!
Okay.
Come on, let's go!
Great. So can I oath break real quick so I can wield that? No, I'm kidding.
You just gotta get it and then go get it cleansed.
Cleansed. Yeah, just go get it cleansed. Yeah, true.
Yes, because it's also because it's so part of your culture, audience. You could roll for religion if you wanted, but essentially you just need to not roll a 1. Death Knight. Do not die. You can push him to 0 hit points. But so long as they do not repent, it is kind of a curse. He is eventually going to get back up on its feet and just keep being evil.
Yep. Unless we destroy the soul, basically, behind the...
Which is extremely hard, because it is meant to be accursed by a god. Because to reach that point, he betrayed his oath.
Yeah.
So, good luck with that.
That's what my mace is for, right?
Well, technically he is an undead, so you're gonna hit harder on him. But
Yeah.
he has an unholy avenger, which means he's gonna hit harder on living people.
Yeah. So, we just need to kill ourselves and then fight him. Undead.
Genius.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or reincarnate him, and then he's not as strong against.
Yeah. There you go.
God revive!
It's the hack of every Final Fantasy. Oh, undead! Phoenix down! He's dead!
Alright. Who's going first? I know I rolled a... Did he beat a 19?
No.
Then-
So Fisher and audience.
Okay. So audience slightly before Fisher, I think, since the dexterity.
I mean, you have a higher dex.
But we
but
can also
I
choose.
have a higher initiative bonus.
Fair. I think we can choose.
Why don't I go first? Because I want to try this and see if it works.
Okay.
It probably won't, because it's a save, and he probably has bonkers saving throws. But if it does work,
It'll be helpful.
it'll be extremely helpful.
Alright,
Uh,
go first then.
I'm gonna cast slow on him.
Okay. And it is a which save?
It is a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom.
DC 17.
25.
Okay.
Yep, that sounds about right.
As a reminder, he's a former paladin. He probably has pretty good whiz.
Yeah,
And most
I
likely
figured.
the exact same abilities as audience. Which means his charisma is boosting his saves.
Yeah.
Well, they don't actually boost my saves, to be fair. They just boost everyone else's saves.
What? Yeah, they do.
Hey, to do.
Have you not been? Have you not?
No.
Have you not noticed how presumably all your saves got better when you upped your charisma?
Well, Sam, it is.
Oh, no, I noticed. No.
It builds
I just
in.
haven't been adding the +3 on top of it.
You
I
don't.
know the
Well,
roll.
it already automatically does it.
Yeah.
it-
No, I knew that. I meant like I wasn't added. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
No, I just wasn't then, like rolling my rolls and then being like, oh, I'll add +3 to that.
Yeah,
which
no.
was,
I got that.
Which you shouldn't be. but
Yeah.
I was about to be deeply concerned.
No, I was not reading the rolls I was being given or seeing my stats increase. Okay, I guess it's my turn. Or are you moving up? We do probably somewhat want to protect the casters.
Yeah. I'll move up a little bit, but not.
Not within 30 feet.
I'll move up to like M10. And N10. Just
And 10.
to 10 feet forward.
Okay. Okay. Then this means it's your turn, audience.
Alright. Audience is going to move up 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, 20 feet. So to L11.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my breath weapon.
Okay. Dexterity save.
It would be... He has to beat a 13. I assume he will, but... still getting some damage.
Well, The dice itself was a 17, so...
Yeah, okay. That's fair. I expected him to not dig, so then I need to roll... Did again? It's like 11... level 11, 60, 60, 10. And I will add a... level 2 to that. So we'll do 60, 10... Actually... No, because he... yeah, no. I'm actually not even going to add a smite to it right now. I'm just going to do 60, 10.
Let's go. Let's try to pulverize him.
We'll add a level 1 to it, actually,
Okay.
for next turn. What's that? He is undead, so that'd be 3d8? 3d8. Alright. So that is 58 damage halved. So 50, 25, 29. 29 damage. Do you need to know how much of that was radiant?
I just need to know if your breath weapon is considered magical energy or not.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with yes.
I believe.
It's
Here's the problem.
yeah. That's actually like kind of a hard question.
Oh no. The problem is that the easiest way to figure whether an ability is inherently magical is if it uses the wording like references magic in some way. Now the standard Dragonborn breath weapon does not include the word magical or otherwise indicate that it is a magical energy. But this is also a customized thing specifically made by Draken. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he wrote out a specific description that actually detailed whether it was a magical breath or not.
I have the.
Also, it does specifically.
The radiant
use
damage
a
is
spell.
definitely the radiant damage is definitely magical. I would say it was a magical creature who upgraded it, so it's, I mean, I would say yes, it's probably magical, but if you want to tell me it's not, it cannot be.
I mean, if I'm being honest, because you said that you put because like basically because like you said you had to like you can choose to put spell slots into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah,
He
so-
put a divine smite.
Yeah, so
inside
at
of it.
minimum, if it costs a spell slot, that it inherently means that it has to be magical, because
Okay, then
it
yes,
required
it is.
spell energy to do.
Yeah, then it is magical.
Okay. So you unleash your breath on it, and it is both the coolest thing you've ever seen, but also the most worrying thing you've ever seen, because he face takes it. He just raises one arm in front, and you see the energy push on his arm, and he just brush it off. It seems to have done lesser damage.
Oh, so he's like resistant
He,
to magical damage.
he has the aura of warding ability of the path of the ancient, the oath of the ancient, which means he is resistance on all spell damage.
Okay.
So he's resistant, and he succeeded on his save.
Okay, so yeah, so it did 25.
It did 15
No,
points of
29.
damage
It did
in
29. It did 15 points of damage.
total.
Okay. I'm gonna move back 10 feet.
You move back 10 feet. With your mind just going, oh man, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Damn, I gotta move back.
I think just like, alright, we're gonna take a step back. You know, I see you. I respect you, and we're gonna back off a little bit.
Alright.
Oh, I do have to do a con save to see if I...
See if it comes back, yeah.
Oh, I really would have liked that nat 20. Not right there, but sure, it comes back.
Well, it's a good thing that you didn't take a point of exhaustion before, because you would have had to roll it again. So you definitely would have lost a natural 20. All right, the next one in the initiative is Remy. Remy, you just seen that thing brush off audience's most powerful breath attack since the beginning. It did some damage, but feels like he barely registered it. I think he muted.
Sorry. I mean, for a few different reasons, that puts Raimi, well, maybe not in a pickle, but it does mean that he has to deviate from his usual weapon of choice, at least for a distance, anyway.
Okay.
Well, if I'm understanding how Sorcerer's Bow normally works, like, you have it flavored to where it is using spell energy.
Yeah.
So using it would therefore have any damage that he deals with it.
Yeah.
Pardon me that I have to slightly change what I'm doing here. All right. How far away am I right now?
55 feet away. And audience is right in front of you.
I'll say I don't think the attack is necessarily my best move right now. Well, I don't actually know if he has any special senses. So, for the time being, until he either gets closer or exhibits some sort of teleporting ability, I'm going to use my action to cast Mirror Image on myself.
Okay.
And then... I think Raimi is going to move to... So, like, in that general area of NO 15 or 16, 17, is that like a tree or a bush?
It's a really big plant.
Okay.
Stepping on N15 would be difficult terrain, but it's also a big plant, so easy to hide behind it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for the time being. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Like, I lost track of where my mouse went. Yeah, I think Raimi will move to N16 and use his bonus action to hide.
Okay. Make your roll.
It's 25.
All right. Noted.
That's all Raimi will be able to do for now.
Okay. Right. Which means we go to Jorg.
Zorg is going to cast Moonbeam on the guy, since it's undead.
Okay.
Um,
I did not take all the magic.
well, a wall of fire might be better just to keep him away from us.
You're
but
in the
then
middle of a
also,
forest. Just
yeah,
saying.
that's why I wasn't gonna do that. I'll upcast it too. So it's a Constitution 16 saving throw. On each creature, and it makes it okay.
Hold on. I know it's somewhere. Okay, here you go. Alright. You cast it at what level?
Third level.
Third level. Alright. You cast it, you see the beam of light appearing and hitting where he is, and you see the beam fizzle out. You see his
WTF.
weapon. You see his weapon glow with divine energy. Your attack was dispelled. Automatically. Which means he has a certain area around himself which auto-dispels magic effects. You don't know how wide it is.
Alright.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
I did not make him to be an easy challenge.
Jorg is going to then move to the left to kind of behind that tree.
Jorg hides.
Yep. And I will pass turn.
Jorg just saw Remy duck behind a bush and just went, yeah, that's a good idea. Alright. So, in case you're wondering, it is an ability of the Holy Avenger that was removed over time. Holy Avengers have a auto-dispel ability that is in a certain radius around a paladin, and only a paladin or a fallen paladin can draw out this ability. So yeah, technically, audience, if you can manage to purify that weapon, you might be able to inherit those abilities if you can use it.
Audience, we need that weapon.
It's a holy
I think we
avenger.
need to not die first.
Yeah.
let's get through that, and then we're gonna move on to maybe getting the weapon.
I can revive you, audience.
Not if you're dead, also, Jorg.
Good point.
All right. Onak turn. And he will prepare for a really massive onslaught of healing and immediately cast... Where is it? Aura of Vitality. So he will be ready to heal
Well, you can probably use some now. I think we're all started this fight a little hurt because of the.
Oh yeah, because of all the needles. Yeah, sure. Arunak is staring at Audience or Fisher. He knows they're going to be the main attackers, so let's go. Let's see. Odd numbers, it's going to be Fisher. Even number, it's going to be Audience. 4. So, even number, Audience, which means it's 2d6. 2d6 or 2d6 and something. Vitality, 2d6, that's it. Okay. So, Audience, you regain 7 hit points.
Alright.
And he's at least going to break the direct line of sight, just in case he has a bad spell which hits in line. I'm just going to move a little bit to the side. Alright. Now, him. Okay. Okay. I see this. Strategy is there. Nope, that's not the right file. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Alright. Holy jeez. Alright. You see his form glowing with energy, powerful and dangerous. Which is the moment where you, audience, recognize that he is currently glowing from the light of a channel divinity ability, which he most likely activated right before the fight started.
Alright. Well, I guess we'll see what it is.
Alright. First, he is going to take 5, 10 feet of movement, and he's going to use Misty Step and reappear. It's good enough. Yeah, it's going to be you, audience.
Okay.
Right next to you.
Could have been worse. I'd rather, honestly. I was worried he was going to jump on one of our casters.
Well, so far he hasn't seen a lot of spell being cast. He wanted to go for where Remy was, but no, you only have one bonus action, so it's going to be you, audience.
Alright. I do have my charm up. I don't know if he cares about charm.
What would be the save of that?
15. Sorry. It's a 15. Why do I always forget? DC 15 Wisdom. Yeah, so Wisdom again, which
Wisdom.
He is good.
Okay.
He's gonna have to roll like 2s and stuff to fail, but you know, there's always a chance.
Alright. No, rolled a total of 22. But yes, you're right. He basically needs to roll a 1 or a 2 to fail this.
Yeah. But there's always a chance, so, you know, might as well get the roll.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He just has advantage on all saving throw, but for magical things, but you might actually roll a 1 and a 2. Damn, I kind of had fun creating him, because I created a high-level paladin. It's kind of interesting creating a character that's going to be a villain. Paladins have a lot of abilities when they reach the end levels. Alright.
Yeah, they do.
Which means he's going to attack you, audience. And he's going to attack you using... no, he's gonna slightly play it safe. Slightly playing it safe. Which means it is a 24 and 31 to hit.
Alright, well, I actually have a high enough AC that one doesn't hit.
Alright, the first attack, strike, and you manage to block it with your... Which weapon are you using?
The mace.
The mace? You manage to block it with the mace as it's coming down on you. But he is way too fast and hits you with the second one.
Ow.
His unholy avenger pouring its energy right into you. So we have that, we have that, we have that.
Expect me to be below half health now for the remainder of this fight, guys. I'm just letting you know. This does as much as I think I might.
Anything else? That's two, okay.
All depends on it.
Okay. Okay. No, that's all. That's it. Oh, that's not too much. You can take that, audience.
Yeah, I can take one of them.
Alright, so it's... $27 points of slashing and radiant damage in total.
Okay, so he's still doing radiant?
Oh, that's a very interesting remark. I think I'll go with necrotic. Didn't have time to completely change everything about him, so.
Okay. Okay, so that's my temp HP gone, which 20, you said 27, which was down to 17.
Yes.
Maybe 17 then, so. That puts me at 102. Yeah, I can take a couple. 95.
Okay. Okay. Now he used a bonus action. He used 2 attacks. Okay.
So he has his reaction.
Oh yes, he still has his reaction.
Or any legendary stuff he might have. I don't know about that, but...
Alright, that's gonna be it for him for the first round.
Okay.
He has engaged the party. I wanted to say the board, but, you know, you're not the board. Alright, which means the last one of the initiative is Annie, who's going to move slightly closer and use that weird glowing yo-yo she has. Try and attack him. Oh, that's a decent first strike. That's also a decent first strike. That's not a decent third strike. Which means it's... So 1 does not hit. And the 2 others hit. Which means it's... I see, I knew that there was a good reason for me to have gotten D6. 2 hits. Let's roll everything all at once. It's a pretty good roll. She hit him twice. It does magical damage, so it's not exactly biting, but it is a little bit of damage. And he doesn't seem to really be noticing that buzzing sound. Which means we go back to top of the initiative, Audience and Fisher.
Is the
Oh, map
Map?
hasn't been updated, sorry.
okay? I was gonna say, I thought you would.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's gonna be there in a moment. So, what do you do? Hasn't updated?
Yes.
Okay.
I will move up to M11. Yes.
Okay.
And then I think I'm just gonna kind of start wailing on him because
Okay.
that's
In that case, he is going to use his reaction to hit you with the butt of his unholy weapon, which is a feature of Polearm Master.
rude.
Well, I think that's the whole thing with him. He's rude as at basis.
Fair.
That's 26 to hit.
I'm gonna. I mean, might as well try it. I'm gonna try and cast shield.
That's actually a spell effect. You're right. There's a chance that it will get dispelled. The dice itself is 16, so you cast shield and... Oh, jeez! Went through. Your shield is
Nice.
dispelled. I did not
I do
think
have
about that.
I do have a question.
Yes.
So you said she hit him with magical damage last round. So unless you changed it, the aura of warding, which I assume is what you're using, it's just for spells. It's like resistance to spells, not like magical effects.
No, it's not. It's magical damage, so not magical effects. So he doesn't have resistance to you casting slow. He
Okay.
doesn't have. It's just spell damage.
Okay, I didn't think.
Well, is it straight up the aura from the Ancient's Paladin?
I think so.
The aura of warding.
'Cause I believe it's specifically damage from spells.
It does state. That's why I was asking, because it does state specifically damage from spells, so not
Okay,
like
okay.
damage from like magical weapons. And stuff.
So the no. He doesn't have resistance against physical attack. The reason why he had a resistance with Annie's attack is because it's a purely magical object. I just textured it so that it looks like a yo-yo, but it's a magical attack. And you're
Oh, it
So
is
it's
a
like-
magical
it's like
attack.
a
It's like
shadow blade
it's like
or
a
something.
spell.
yes.
Okay. I get it. Okay. I was just checking because
No. He's not gonna have resistance against your sword or Fisher's sword. Don't worry about it. I'm not that mean.
Okay. I was like, listen, I know aura of warding's good, but last time I checked, it wasn't that
No.
good.
Arguments can be made that it's actually not that great, but that is not the focus of this game.
Yeah. No.
The damage from
so
the
he hits-
the getting struck by the back end of the polearm. Where is it? It's D4 plus a D8. So you receive 27 points of slashing and necrotic damage in total. But it is a reaction. So unless he has a really bad ability, he doesn't have any more reactions.
Alright, and then I will try and hit him.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Alright, I am not going to use Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming he has
He's wearing full
AC.
plate, so at base level, he has 18 of armor.
at least 18. Probably. That is cocked. That is a 24 to hit.
You hit?
Alright.
That laugh made me nervous. I was like, please tell me a 24 hits.
That is 12 damage.
Okay.
And then I will attack again. That is a nat 20
Nice.
for 18 damage. And that lets me use a bonus action to make another attack, which is 27 to hit
Which is enough.
for 19 damage.
Alright. So you hack and you slash and you try and wound him as best you can.
And that'll be my turn.
Alright. Audience?
Alright. Audience turn is also going to be fairly simple. I am going to hit the thing that's in front of me. That, you know.
Yeah.
Not
Do it.
much else I'm going to do. Especially since I see he can, like, dispel magic and stuff. I'm like, you know. I think that I'm just going to hit him. See if I can.
Sounds like a good idea.
I have a feeling 19 won't hit.
No, it won't.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So you know that he at
Okay.
least has a plate armor +1.
That was my guess. That's why I was like, I don't think a 19 will hit. Alright. I think a 25 will hit, though.
Yes. Since a 24
Okay.
hit, 25 does hit.
Will hit. Alright, so we are going to use a level 2 Divine Smite with that. Plus the Mace's ability. So we're gonna hit for 1d6 plus 5. That's 10, and then it's 2d6 because he's undead. Plus 4d8, 5d8, plus my advanced divine sight, so 68.
Okay.
Okay.
How much of that is fueled by magic?
Not. Okay, I'll
Not.
do. Okay, I'll.
Or
Well, none of it is a spell.
Divine
unless-
Smite is fueled
Divine
by
Smite is a
spell slot.
Okay, so then 5d. Okay, so let me roll it separately. So then I'm gonna do.
This is actually one of the reasons why they made Divine Smite a spell.
Yeah,
in the
no, I know
2024
why.
rules.
Yeah, I know. They did change that. Okay, 1d8. So let's roll this separately. So 10. plus 10. So 20 is unmitigated. 20 damage is unmitigated, and then 5d8. For 21, so 11. So I cut that in half. So 31 damage in total.
31 damage in total. Right. 31. Right.
And that was my that. I don't really have a bonus action. So besides drink a potion, but I don't need to do that yet.
You strike him with everything you have. You fuel your attacks with power. You strike him. He reacts. Slightly, he looks at you after those attacks and he says, "A worthy attempt, Squire."
Damn! I got squired. Alright. That's my turn for right now.
Okay. Remy.
Okay, good. It's like, well, I'm assuming the map is currently updated.
Yes.
Like, then yeah, this works out at least in my favor. As Raimi, well, I suppose I'll find out if I hid well enough from him. But I'm going to throw the good boy. It's like from my place in the shadows.
Okay.
Do I have advantage on the roll?
He is flanked by 2 other persons, so right there, you have advantage with that.
Well, I'm more answering a question of like, am I successfully hidden from him from my previous stealth roll?
Yes.
I don't know how observant this guy is, so I'm using that information.
I had to think about it for a moment. Where you went, yes. He knew where you were approximately, but not the square you were on. So, yes, you were hidden.
Okay, that's going to be a 28.
To hit? Alright, that's good.
Let's see. 3, 8, 11, 15, 21, 24, 28, 29, 33. Yeah. So 33 piercing.
Alright. Okay. You strike, you throw at it, it hits. Not enough to push it below 50%, so it's not a clear injury, but next to part of his shoulder, and he looks back behind him as the dagger is going back toward you. Little cowardly shadows. Interesting.
Says the guy in armor.
Anything else? It has to be a reaction banter, so I can't say much more. I can't start monologuing the whole thing.
Well, I'm trying to think best course of action here. I think 1, 2. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, Raimi will wander over to H13.
H13. Okay. And
Actually, yeah, since I'm not really going to be able to hide on this turn because I think my understanding of this tree is that the trunk is a little bit, like the square is a little bit more.
yeah, the square itself, I'd have to say is HIJ, and it's 16, 17, 18. It's a 9 square. So if you want to have an idea, so that you can easily see it, that would be the trunk of the tree.
Yeah. So I think I'll just use my bonus action to just get basically a little bit more movement and go to G16. That way, well, one second thought, G15.
Okay.
Because I think at the very least that should be enough to where if he decides to teleport over and attack me, then at the very least, audience and Fisher would still be able to get over there.
Okay.
Because he can, presumably, if he's Misty stepping, he can only teleport to a place he can see. So he can't teleport to a spot behind the trunk.
Okay.
So Raimi will end his turn there.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so that was Remy. Jorg.
Well, my map's not updating. I'm just gonna refresh the page. That should give me a new. It's probably gonna give me an ad too. Since Jorg doesn't know if he can hit her with magic, not with at least level 3 spells. He's going to conjure animals. I don't want to get too many animals. I'll do 4th level. And do brown bears, which are challenge rating 1.
Yeah, I put a circle on where the trunks are, and I know it's starting to be a bit rainbowy, but at least everyone can see it now. Alright, so you said brown bears.
I'm summoning brown bears. I guess as well.
Where do you want to put them?
Yeah, so I'm going to put them. I'll put them on either side of him. So, since they're medium or large, they're gonna go in like the M. L. One will go above him next to Fisher, and one will go like down and to the right.
There is an NPC that is on P12.
Yeah.
So one
It'll
behind,
go above.
or
Yeah,
behind
like one.
him?
Yeah, behind him and one above him,
Okay.
like next to Fisher. I don't know if my game's gonna update. And then I'll roll their initiative. I feel like they're just gonna get like domed immediately, but they might do something.
Well, I don't think they get dispelled.
Okay.
Actually, do they get dispelled?
That depends on how you worded the ability. Because
Trying to work around the dispel, but we'll see.
Oh, it's literally a dispel spell.
Dispel
I
magic.
mean, the description of it, though.
Is it?
Like,
The weapon itself has a dispel magic ability active at all time in a X number of foot radius.
So anything that enters that radius gets dispel magic cast on it.
Yeah. Holy Avenger were a bitch in the past.
That would dispel my bears.
What did you cast it at 3rd level
Uh,
or 4th?
yes. Well, I was gonna cast it at 4th, but I don't get any bonus from that. And then if I go to 5th, I could get more bears. I'll do it at a 4th since I know he can dispel a 3rd level.
Well, one get dispelled
I mean-
and the other doesn't.
Oh.
I did not decide which one was on top. Where is the blue dice the one on top or the one at the bottom? I'm not telling you which of
say-
my blue or black dice
Yeah.
is the failed one.
The one on the bottom.
Blue goes on the bottom, which means the one on top disappears, but the one at the bottom stays.
So it dispels.
It's a roll.
It won't activate on the whole spell. It can just dispel.
It's a dispel magic. It attempts to dispel the magic the moment it enters its aura, and the aura has X foot in diameter.
Cool. But that means so one bear is able to like not be dispelled.
One bear did not get dispelled. Yes.
I will take that.
I guess that means that so long as as the bear doesn't leave his aura, it doesn't have to make a new check.
Since I don't want to
Yeah.
be overly mean, I'm not gonna make him do a dispel check every single turn.
Okay.
I want this to be a challenge. I don't want this to be impossible. So, what did you do with your bear?
My bear. Wait, I have to roll initiative for it, right?
Yeah.
I left my dice upstairs, so it gets a 14. Yeah.
14, which means we are on turn 14. It goes
Yes.
now.
All right. He will claw at the guy, which is a +5 to hit, and then is he a small? No, he's not a small.
It's a medium
yeah,
creature.
yeah.
It's a tall
If the
human.
target is a large or smaller creature, it gets the prone. Okay, so if he can hit with the claw, he can knock the guy prone. But I have to roll way better than a 14 + 5, a 19.
You rolled a 19 for your attack?
Yeah, on the first one.
That's not enough.
And on the bite, non-natural 20.
That's not enough.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Well, he'll be a good distraction.
Yeah.
And I'll pass turn. The bear's turn is over.
All right. And you, Jordan, do you want to move somewhere? Do you want to burst into dance? Burst into flame?
Jorg will, since he doesn't really seem to be like threatening the guy, I think Jorg feels relatively safe. He'll stay by the side of the tree.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have much else to do. My bonus action is I could wild shape, but
Okay.
no wait. Yeah. So, yep.
All right.
Just cast the bears.
Then we go to Onak, who will do his best to heal a little bit. Audience. So he already has magic aura. Oh, that's a really low roll. 4 points of healing from the aura. And, well, he's there to heal you, so he's gonna cast Cure Wound. Which is going to be... oh, no, that's nearly maximum. 24 points of healing, audience.
Alright. Not bad.
And he's
Not bad
gonna
at all.
Move slightly to the left so he can see everyone without having to look everywhere at once. Alright.
Well, the dragon definitely knows who our healer is now.
Well, yeah, he is forcing all of you to reveal all of your best abilities. He knows you have a mean breath weapon, audience. You know, why would I want to add effects to? Oh, okay, now I know why. Okay, never mind. What was I saying? Yeah, he knows you have a stronger than normal breath weapon. He knows that Fisher is a competent fighter, but he is holding back. He knows that Jorg is most likely a good caster because of a level 6 spell, and he's casting and he's summoning things. He knows Orenak is a healer, and he knows that Remy likes to strike from the shadows. And he hasn't revealed much other than the fact that she has a highly magical weapon.
He knows Annie can hit with a yo-yo.
Fueled by magic. Alright, so that was Arunak, which means it's the enemy. And the enemy likes what's happening right now. So, let's go with everything. He's going to step up once, meaning he doesn't leave anyone's range, so he doesn't provoke attack of opportunity. He will attack audience once.
Sure.
He will attack.
Oh, can he roll a save to see if he rolls a 1 or a 2?
The dice says 7.
Okay. Fair enough. Just want to get that out of the way.
You know, he rolled a 7 on the dice. That was supposed to be an attack on Fisher, but now I rolled again, and that's more than a 7. So,
My fault, guys.
all right.
Come on,
So for audience, the attack is that's not the right sheet. Here we go. The attack is 27 to hit.
Yep. That'll work.
27 to hit, which means it's going to be 1 of this, 2 of that, 1 of this. He'd like to put up a spell, but right now he has an idea. So that's $39 points of slashing and necrotic damage on the audience. That's a good roll. Fisher, 32 to hit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Audience hit him.
Oh, yeah, I'll hit him.
okay.
Where is that? No, I won't.
Bruh.
He was distracted by the damage he just took. Fisher, you take 35 points of slashing and necrotic damage.
Sam, why do you have to tell him to switch it to necrotic damage? I've had this potion of radiant resistance just sitting in my inventory.
Well, it doesn't make sense that he would have radiant.
There are evil gods that do radiant damage.
I didn't tell him to change it. I just mentioned, is it radiant or necrotic? And he chose.
That was a really good point. I like that intervention. He is fallen. He is undead. It's normal that he would do necrotic damage. One day, Sam, you will be rewarded for that. Not today, but one day.
Let's again, I love all these rewards that are happening in the future. Again, let's get to those rewards by surviving this fight.
Alright, and because of the Elder Champion channel divinity he has, any paladin spell he casts is cast as a bonus action. Meaning, he turns around and... well, using the swing that he just gave, whoosh, whoosh, he turns around and swings in the direction of Remy, unleashing Destructive Wave.
I will attempt to cast Counterspell.
Okay.
I will...
Also, a huge waste of a 5th level spell. Like a 5th level spell to hit one person?
Yeah, we'll take it.
This guy is dumb. I've decided that
Destructive Wave also...
He is a paladin.
You can't target it. It's an emanation from you.
It's an area of effect that hits. It's a cone.
Yeah, but it's centered on you and it hits everybody around you. You can't, like, aim it in a spot, so...
So it just hits all of us? Or...
Destructive Waves is a cone. You strike around, creating a burst of dynamite that ripple outward from you. Each creature you choose within 30 feet, you must hit... Oh, I thought it was a cone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
it's a bubble.
That's worse. Why did you tell him?
So it hits literally everyone. I thought it was a cone also.
Fisher, now you can't be mad at me anymore. You're buffing him too.
He is exactly 30 feet away from everyone, including Remy, so everyone gets blasted by that. I thought it was a cone. You will be rewarded one day for this.
Also, by the way, we can now officially say we are fighting a level 20 if we beat it, because if he has the champion, that means he's level 20, not level 18. So good job, guys. If we beat this, we beat a level 20 paladin. You now know you can beat audience at his strong.
Now we know we can
does my...
The dispel magic,
Does it hit instantaneous spells too?
It's if a counter spell, yes, you do it as the person is accumulating the energy, and you try and you can counter spell a fireball. So
yeah. What does his dispel aura?
Actually, yeah. Does it dispel?
Because if it's dispel magic, that couldn't target instantaneous spells. Only stuff with a duration.
It's literally the
I'm
dispel
attempting to counterspell his destructive wave. Does it get dispelled by his aura?
No, his destructive ray. His weapon does not affect his own magic.
But does the
No, I am casting counterspell.
Okay, yeah.
on his destructive wave, does my counterspell spell get canceled by his dispel magic aura?
Let me read the spell just to be sure. What's the name already? The spell.
So I think dispel magic only works on like effects with a duration.
Hold on. My software is doing dumb things. Here you go, dispel magic. Choose any creature, object, or magical effect within range. So it can target an object, it can create a creature, or a magical effect. Technically, this counterspell is counterspell an effect.
I don't think counters. Well, you're affecting. It comes to the whole thing of the spell is made around to be an action, but I don't know how it works as a passive effect.
Yeah,
on
that's
an
the weird
object.
thing is
Like, it's-
dispel magic is supposed to be the action version,
Yes.
and counterspell is supposed to be the reaction.
So that's why we've been trying so hard to like get the specific wording for the ability, because that will answer so many questions
Yeah.
about
What is
how
it-
this
what-
thing is actually supposed
on
to
a-
work.
It's on a Holy Avenger, right?
It's
Well,
a past
the
version of
fifth
Holy
edition
Avenger.
Holy Avenger
Yeah.
doesn't do it.
Yeah, no.
So
We'd
the
have to look
exact
at the-
wording, it has a permanent dispel magic effect active in a radius of, well, you're gonna know about it fairly quick. 5 feet radius around him, active at all time. So long
Yeah,
as
so
he
if
is
it's
wielding
active-
the weapon.
I think if it's active at all times, then it probably is basically like a code. I mean, that would make sense to me that it would work as a code of anti-magic if it's active at all
Well,
times.
it's not an anti-magic field, though.
No.
It is not an anti-magic field. I just don't know how it works because he's not technically so unless the sword is casting it.
Yes, it's an effect. The moment the
I mean,
sword is
it's-
unsheathed,
So it sounds to me, and you can choose to interpret it a different way,
no, go ahead.
but it seems to me that the idea is that spells that actually enter the aura itself are the things that become dispelled, but I don't think it necessarily affects spells that are cast within it.
Okay. Interesting.
So if he counters the spell not on top of him, like if Fisher like went to counter the spell as it was coming out, but it wasn't within the 5 feet, it wouldn't counter it.
Because like,
All right.
I
That's
feel like
interesting.
because I feel like the wording would have to be like automatically dispels spells that target you or enter your aura within 5 feet would be the wording I would use if it was designed to
Yeah.
dispel both things that are around it as well as things that target it. So again, this is why
I guess what
things
was
really ought to be converted between editions instead of just taken full cloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Just-
what was your intent with it?
To make it
I
really
think that's
hard.
what we have
'Cause I
to go
also
with
know
here
there's-
because wording isn't enough since
There's a bit of, like a second language thing also, so...
lost
Like,
in
what did you-
translation.
Yeah,
Figurative between two languages and also between two editions.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will
don't,
say-
don't worry. My D&D books were all in English. That's all I could afford. So, not
If
language
it-
barrier.
If it acts effects to counter any spell cast in it, then I will say it's closer to a Sword of Anti-Magic Field, which is fine in relation.
That's just an 8th level spell.
It's just the difference. But if it's Dispel Magic, then it probably doesn't have the effect to just instantly counter any spell cast in it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
say-
if it... Yeah, because
Because that's why they made the difference between
Anti-Magic Shell is like an 8th level spell, and that doesn't let you cast any spells either. So,
Well, that's true. So it would be actually better than Anti-Magic Shell.
yeah.
But
No, it's a field that affect anything that enters it. It's an area of effect. It's a dispel magic placed on an area of effect. Actives the moment that you unsheath the weapon. What was the name of the sword that you said that it would refer to? An anti-magic sword?
it's not a. There's no sword.
That's
with
not
it.
a thing.
Okay.
The spell, anti-magic field or whatever.
It's the spell Anti-Magic Field, which is different than Dispel Magic.
No, okay. You're casting it right next to him. It's a reaction. The spell is an action. I'd go with... You have time. Because it's a reaction, you have time to cast it fully before the Dispel Magic has time to take effect.
Okay.
I'm gonna rule it like this.
Okay.
And so,
Well,
your counter
for
spell.
congruency's sake,
For what?
not to nerf myself again.
Because of the shield before.
Yeah, you did have it cancel shield earlier.
All right.
Are you going back on that, or
Can it cancel it?
For consistency's sake, I would be forced to say I have to roll to see if your counter spell is countered by the Dispel Magic.
okay? It was cast at 4th level.
4th level. All right. It is not.
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
So now I need to roll
Yep.
because
15.
destructive wave. I have a +4. That is a 15 plus 4 is 19.
Okay.
Zoop.
Interesting. Okay. He simply looks at you in your direction. This interesting trick. Let's remove those hands of yours.
Jesus.
All right.
They're detachable. All
I can unscrew them. Here.
I've got spares in my backpack.
All right.
It's bluff. Don't call me on
All right, that was interesting. Okay, now that all of this is settled, and we're gonna go with continuity, because Dispel Magic is not anti-magic. It just doesn't simply. There is a roll every time.
Mm-hmm.
It is continually active. You simply have to beat the roll. Here, ruling made.
Okay.
I finished it yesterday. Come on, give me a chance.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We're just-
There does, yeah. What are the people's gripes with 5th editions? All the different weird magical interactions that can happen.
All right.
Also, wording still being bad on certain
Yeah.
things, but yes.
Well, again, I think that's more the issue of like two different systems trying to communicate with each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
two different
Yeah.
systems.
Like,
Yeah, the wording
That's
of
more
like
the issue at hand than anything else.
yeah.
Probably, if I'd had a little bit more time, I would have went and looked at the Dispel Magic from that edition, how it was worded then. If it's worded the same as the one now, then the ruling would have been the one that I just made. If it's worded differently, well, my ruling might have been different. But we decided, so we move on.
Yeah, we're good.
Any...
Is that the end of his turn?
Action, bonus action. He doesn't want to provoke attack of opportunities. Sorry. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Any.
All right. The first one hit. The second one hit. The third one doesn't hit. Oh, she has a theme there going.
Does she get advantage because we're triangling him, or us and the bear, or no? Because she's not part of the triangle.
I can give her advantage. Technically, it is a triangle. She can't see well what's happening. He can't see well. No, I think it would work. So, second one is... She has... It's still not enough to make it hit, but I'll reroll the two others in case there's a natural 20. And no. Alright, it doesn't change anything.
Right.
Almost did, but was missing 1 point higher on the dice roll. Alright, which means we go with... Alright. Oh no. Sorry. That's 12. Plus 2. Alright. Well, try as she might, her little magical trinket only does a little bit of damage. But it is exactly enough to cause an injury. He gets slashed in the back by this little magical yo-yo, and he has that little moment of... He looks above his shoulder. Interesting. Courageous and foolish at the same time. And that's all she does. She's in a very good place. She didn't feel like she needs to move, although she nearly got blasted but turned out well. Okay. That's gonna be it for that. Which means we go back to the top of the initiative with Audience and Fisher. Hey, the fight is moving faster than usual. We did 3 rounds in 1 hour. Usually we can only make 1.5. Right.
Surprising.
Yeah.
I am what is it? I mean, I guess I might as well
Alright, go.
attempt it. I guess I have to try and cast it at 4th level, because anything below that will be dispelled automatically. I'm going to attempt to cast Chromatic Strike at 4th level
Okay.
with an Acid Vial.
Okay.
With my bonus action.
I'll let you do an Arcana roll before making that decision.
Okay. 28.
28. Oh, that's good. Alright, so... Yes, I know Dungeons and Dragons. Come on. Just want to make sure, but I'm 99% sure. Right. So, this dragon is a green dragon, and he is under that influence. So there is that. And there is the element that a lot of the creatures in this forest have displayed acidic characteristic. So with that information, there is a risk that he may be resistant or immune to poison and acid.
Green dragons aren't just poison. I did not realize that. In that case. Alright, yeah, screw it, never mind.
Okay, what do you do?
I'm just gonna hit him.
Okay.
If I move to... do we have advantage? Are we flanking him right now?
Yes,
Okay.
because of the bear.
Yeah.
It's not something that you expect saying. Yes, you flank him because of the bear.
See? I'm helping.
Yes.
I will... We know 20 doesn't hit, right?
Exactly. You know that a 20
that
doesn't hit.
as close as somewhere between 20 and 24?
Exactly.
Yeah, or somewhere between 20 and 24. I think Great Weapon Masker's pretty risky for this fight. I'm gonna be honest. That's what we're debating.
Yeah.
This man has high AC. He isn't like a
Yeah,
level 20
I'd have
paladin.
to roll, even if it's only 21, I'd have to roll at least a 15. We are not going to use Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
That will be... See, I decide not to use it, and then...
You roll.
Yeah, I guess I don't know for sure if that would hit. 27 to hit.
27 is enough.
That... no, 11 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, those are both very bad. Yeah, 17 doesn't hit.
No.
And then with my bonus action,
I am going to. Second wind.
Okay.
Get 11 hit points back.
Okay.
And then I guess I might as well action surge
Okay.
while I have advantage. That is a 29 to hit.
Nice enough.
Or that's better. That's 18 damage.
Okay.
And 24 to hit.
24. Yes, you know that. Yes, it hits.
Yeah. And 11 damage.
All right. You strike and you strike and you strike again, causing more and more damage. You start seeing ichor oozing from his armor, falling to the ground. His resolve is, however, unchanged. He even seems to focus more heavily on you now, Fisher.
Cool. That's my turn.
Okay. Audience?
Audience. Yeah, we're gonna move quick through this. I'm just hitting him with the advantage. So we're gonna go, yeah. Okay, that's gonna be a miss, and
Oh, wait.
that's gonna. What?
You do have advantage because
Yes.
we're playing him. The other thing I was literally thought of right at the end of my turn.
Okay.
Not that I can do, but maybe. The DM did say multiple times that the field only works when he is wielding the sword.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can try and
Take
disarm
it.
him. Yes.
It is a knowledge that audience would have. If you take away the
Yes.
weapon, it's going to stop working.
I was thinking about that. However,
Smack.
at this moment, I'm hitting him for 28.
Okay.
Or not 28. I'm hitting him, and then we're gonna do our thing
With a
Okay,
28.
so then
Okay.
It's a
with
good
28,
idea.
so that'd be
However, bonk.
D6, 3D, so 3D6, and that is the damage I rolled. That's unmitigated. So, okay, that wasn't great rolls. But he's going to take 12 damage unmitigated, and then another 5D. Oh, no, sorry, 68. So let's see.
So
No, I rolled because I rolled 5D8. Yeah, 5D8. Okay.
and so 10 unchanged, and the rest
12 unchanged.
12 unchanged. Okay.
And 26 halved, so 13, so 25 damage in total on that first attack.
Okay.
25
Okay.
damage in total.
Yeah. Okay. Um, okay.
Okay. And then, now that he's been weakened a little bit, I am going to try and wrestle with him for his sword.
Okay.
So I am going to, I assume, contested strength check
Mm-hmm.
with him. Or athletics, one of the two.
Okay.
I don't know, is it athletics or strength?
I
Athletic.
believe it's athletics.
Athletics? Okay.
And I will roll. Pretty good roll from me. That's a 24.
That's a 27 for him.
Alright.
It's a
So close.
It's a pretty good roll for him. So you feel like you have similar strength, physical strength.
Okay. Does he fully rip it away, or are we more just like rope at each other, but he has the advantage?
Yes.
You're just really feeling each other up.
You try and grab, but he has the advantage in this exchange.
Audience comes out on bottom.
Suddenly, Remy feels jealous.
Do I feel anything when I grab the sword for the moment I grab it?
Well, it does seem to throb when you grab it.
Do I get a throbbing sense of power? Am I immediately rock hard now?
From trying to grab it,
Wait, what?
I'd say
Wait,
that
what?
you do feel the power inside of it, but you do feel how deep the corruption is. As you are right now, you would not be able to wield it and have the be able to use its
Yeah.
abilities.
I assume it needs to be purified.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what I would have guessed. But okay. Cool. Cool. I also do I get a sense from the corruption that we're probably not gonna be able to redeem him? Like we're gonna have to figure out Or is he-
The lore behind a Death Knight in 5th edition is that he has to seek redemption himself. So long as he has not achieved it, even if he is slain, he will eventually rise again.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I might as well try. Audience, as he's like looking to his eyes for resting further forward, I'll be like, try and remember the light. Remember who you are, and I'll try and roll that with persuasion.
Holy jeez, okay. You're going for a very, 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 very long shot.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright. Alright, 23.
Okay. You do not see a change in his resolve.
Alright. We'll keep trying. We'll work on him. We'll wear him down.
Alright. Alright, well, with this,
That's everything. That's everything.
we got Remy now.
Well, obviously, I'm not going to be able to wrestle with that paladin sword, and come out on top anyway.
Which, for Remy is not necessarily a bad thing.
So what he is going to do, though, is... Yeah, I think he's just going to... Well, actually, first things first. Well, No, that's still close enough. Sorry. Remy is going to move over to G18. And then he's just gonna throw his dagger off to the side, and it's gonna veer over and hit him anyway.
Seeing that you almost got blasted by a destructive wave. No, I'm
She's
gonna
like, "No,
stay
thank
really
you."
far away. That's it. You got it, guys.
And since I've air quote already tasted blood, it's
Yeah.
I could actually use the full 60 feet without disadvantage. That will be... Yeah, that'll be a 29 to hit.
29 is enough. He suddenly gains 10 AC points. No, you all need to roll natural 20s to hit. Jorg, you're the next one.
37 piercing.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that one definitely went inside of the armor before leaving. Ah. Fisher and audience, because you're looking at him. I was going to say in the white of his eyes, but not really. Although the way he moves seems to indicate he is injured, his resolve would tell you that he is not.
Right.
At least right now, he doesn't seem to be affected by what would actually be considered a grievous wound.
Then I'll use my bonus action to hide, and then as I'm doing so, move slightly to H19.
I'm gonna move even
otherwise I'll
more
invite
behind a tree, and
Well, you know, at the very least, since it's like he must be hiding in that spot of the tree, but then he goes over. Where did he go?
you know, Remy is moving away from you guys. You get a call on the orb saying, "You got it, guys." All right, Jorg, what do you do?
Just a 23.
Okay.
I can't get lower than 23. I rolled like a 5 on that.
Jorg.
How are Fisher and audience looking? I remember Fisher took a big hit.
Well, you can easily see below or above 50%.
Below 50%.
So Fisher is injured. He is bleeding.
All right. In that case, Jorg is gonna go. I don't remember if I had Frel out. Just for the sake of it, I'm gonna assume I did not, because also I didn't want to show too much of my reveal too many cards.
Okay.
So in that case, he's going to walk up behind Fisher, sneakily and surreptitiously, and hope that casting a level 4 cure wounds from that close doesn't get dispelled.
It does not.
Okay.
The aura is not
total,
excessively large.
Cool. And that is 35 HP for Fisher.
Sick.
That was 5, 10, 15.
Thanks, babe.
And then he takes the other 15 points of movement to go back to where he was. No problem.
Okay. Go back to...
And then the bear will do a big ol' claw bite
A bear roll? No.
with a 21 for the claw.
Okay. No, that's for a hit? No, it's not enough.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's got to roll like a nat 20. And, okay, yeah, and 18, so.
A little animal? Yeah.
He's just there for the... Just a wee little brown bear.
No, well, he's just Fisher and audience advantage on their attack. So.
Yeah, he's pretty nice to have out, even if he's not doing any damage.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll pass turn.
Okay. Fisher above 50%.
Yes.
Audience above 50%?
Yes.
Okay, so he's gonna send the aura of healing toward audience, and he's gonna heal Fisher with Cure Wound. So aura of healing, audience, 8 points of 8 hit points, and Fisher 14 hit points. One, two, three, four. Okay, that's total feet of movement. Alright, Ronak heals. He's used. I'm just gonna write it down. Oh, okay. Alright, so Ronak is healing. Now for the enemy in front of you. Fisher, he seems pretty mad at you, so he's gonna
Understandable.
arm up and
Give up?
pour everything into you. As you see him raise his weapon, you see magical energy gathering around it. A spell is being cast.
I mean, I guess I might as well
Okay. It is a 3rd level spell.
attempt to.
Oh, it is, sorry. It is a 3rd level spell upcast at level 5.
Alright. He's got to roll to try and get rid of my 4th level counter spell.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 17 on the dice.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Alright. He will try and kill you in a single round. So he goes with Great Weapon Master.
Alright.
Hits you twice. Audience, I think you get to hit him.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and
With
hit him.
Great Weapon Master?
Great Weapon. He is trying that on you, yes.
I'm gonna try and hit him. Advantage. Oh, I got a nat 20.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Okay, well, I don't think I can stop him from hitting you, but
I believe you.
I could do some damage. We'll throw. Okay, so we'll do. Okay, so let's do the unmitigated first. So that is 16 plus 16, so 32 plus 32, 36. So that's 36 unmitigated damage. Plus, we'll throw in. We'll use 1 level 3 spell slot here. So then that's gonna be 10. No, how much? Okay, I have to actually think. So that's so it's 48. It's 48 plus 1, so 5d8. So yeah, so 10d8.
And then.
Not actually that impressive. Only another. I was already at 36, so only another 20.
Okay.
36, 46, 56. So he takes 56 damage from the attack.
Did you put a Divine Smite in this?
Yeah,
Okay, that damage gonna be
but
reduced.
that's no.
Yeah,
I
he
did
already
the reduced.
calculated that.
I calculated. It's
Okay.
56 in total.
Okay. All right. So, Fisher, 26 and 28 to hit.
Ouch.
Almost critical strike. Almost, but no.
That's with it.
Okay. So the spell take effect as he's striking you. Oh yeah, that's right. He has to roll just in case he gets charmed by audience. No, he rolled a 4. Almost, but not quite.
Damn it. What does he get on it for? It's like 17 or something.
He roll. He said wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. 16, I think.
Oh yeah, because then 3 would be 15, and then 2, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, 16. So yes, he has to roll. That makes sense.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. One of his object gives also a +1 on saving throw. So 17.
Oh, then he literally has to roll that one. He has to literally roll that one. So.
All right, what was I saying? Oh yeah, damage on that. So the spell was Spirit Shroud, upcasted to level 5, which means it add 2d8 to the attack. And he really wants to pulverize you. So he's gonna pour a Divine Smite in each one of them.
Well, Fisher, it was nice knowing you, buddy.
Rip.
He's gonna pour a Divine Smite, level 4, on each one of them, which means
Exactly 100 hit points.
No,
I think he's gonna beat it. I think the math is in
I
his favor.
do also.
I think I agree with you.
and that, and that, and that, and that's just one strike.
I'm sorry, Fisher. I didn't wrestle away his sword.
You,
Come on, dude.
audience, you severely injured him with that smite. You nearly pushed him to his knees, but it was not enough. And he turns back and strikes at Fisher with rage and power.
Oh boy.
Hey, he can't concentrate on Spirit Shroud if he's raging.
Okay, let's not give him actually the effects of rage though.
No, I didn't.
let's not add that onto it.
Okay, so that's one attack.
How much did that do?
So the first attack did 57 points of slashing damage and necrotic damage.
We're not looking good.
I think, Fisher, the sword went right through your armor, and 2 feet of sword appeared on your back. Pulls it again and slashes again. Although, audience, you would know by this that this is most likely the strongest he can strike. And he's using resources for that. Divine Smite, magic for it, so he can't maintain that forever. But it is still significant. As a paladin, you'd know this more than anyone else. He can probably maintain that for 2 rounds, 3 maybe, and then he's gonna exhaust all of his resource.
We might all be dead, but yes, he might exhaust us.
The second strike.
We might be dead, but he'll be tired. So that's.
The second strike is devastating for you, Fisher, as you are struck with 74 points of slashing and necrotic damage. Your body nearly completely shrivels up. And then you fall to the ground, is that it?
Yep. By 31.
The weapon deeply going inside of your body and being drawn again. You see this arc of blood going upward.
Jesus Christ.
Like you're
I think
penetrated by
as
his
he,
throbbing sword.
Stabs into me. I do the thing where I grab the sword and hold it there for a second, and that gives audience the opening to crit him.
Audience is just like beating him. It doesn't look like, but I just like let him go. And then I just see him just pull the sword out of Fisher. Fisher just crumples. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh god.
That scream you heard from him as he poured over 100 points of damage into Fisher still echoes in the woods.
Oh boy.
His gaze turns toward you, audience, next. His head is shaking. He just looks at you. You're next, Squire.
Not if I get you first.
One banter. Annie.
Alright, Annie, you're allowed to heal our boy if you have healing.
It's just one person in the group. It's Olenak's job to heal.
Sorry, Fisher, I tried.
Okay.
Well, once again, she strikes twice. Oh yeah, that's right. She has advantage. That doesn't change anything.
She doesn't. Technically, Fisher's down.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ah, thank you for reminding me. So
You're welcome.
it prevented a natural 20.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah, you're all
Such
gonna
a
get
nice guy.
you're all gonna get rewards eventually. Maybe on your next character.
We all get the honest trait on our next characters. It gets like a +2 to.
Alright. She strikes. And oh jeez, okay. You see her move forward one step and slash him again with this little magical yo-yo she has. The blood pours everywhere. Audience even gets splashed a little by the blood. And there's a brief moment where you see his will that seems to waver slightly for a moment. He nearly falls to the ground. But then you feel that aura of energy swelling up inside of him. And he doesn't fall. You just hear him say, "I still stand." He said, just use the ability of that paladin to withstand a blow that would push him to 0 hit point. But thanks to the blessing of the forest and the dragon, you don't only hear that, but suddenly his body seems to heal and regenerate a large portion of his health. Wounds
So it's a
starts
little better
closing.
that he just goes back to 1 hit point instead.
Yes,
Unfortunate.
yes.
Unfortunate. Okay.
So as you see him heal like this, you hear him say, "I still stand." He looks mad as heck.
The Phase 2
even
Dark
more.
Souls music hits.
I do have to go to bed. I don't know how much longer the fight's gonna go.
Well, that's the end of this round, so we can definitely cut it here.
If there's gonna be a full another phase, I mean,
It's
again,
good
I don't know
phase
how much he
2.
healed. I don't know if how much he healed, but probably
He-
not to full, but enough where it's probably not gonna necessarily just immediately
No,
end.
he did not heal to the point of no longer being injured. So he did not go back above 50% hit point. But he did significantly heal.
So there's a chance we could one wrap him if one of us like crits again, but not.
Well, unless he's really mean, because I could
Don't
be
worry,
really
guys,
mean
I
like
got
this. He could kill Fisher within one round by just hitting him twice as he lies dead.
Good.
But I'm not that kind of mean.
Okay.
So-
Does Oranek knock? I thought Oranek went last. Am I crazy? did he
No,
go?
he goes.
Where did he go?
He goes right before him.
Oh, he went.
His initiative is 13. The enemy is 11. He healed you, audience, for a few
Oh,
hit
he
points.
healed. Oh, that's actually okay. I thought he was after the enemy.
No.
That's unfortunate.
So right
Can't
now,
heal.
as he sees this, you can be sure that next round, all of the healing is most likely going to go into Fisher.
Yeah, it should.
And he's probably he's probably gonna upcast Cure Wound as high as he can get it. All right,
Well,
4th round.
yep, 4th round.
But one of us needs to go to sleep, so you all get a little bit of rest. So,
Like our character.
in case you're wondering what was all of that damage, that was Great Weapon Master, a +10. It
Yeah.
was Spirit Shroud, cast at level 5, so it adds 2d8. Holy Avenger, so Unholy Avenger, does 2d10, usually radiant damage to undead, so now it's necrotic to living. And level 4 Divine Smite. That's what Fisher took twice.
Yeah.
Just for those who are keeping track.
Oh, I'm not
Damn,
surprised.
They really neutered the 5th Avenger, the 5th edition Holy Avenger.
They did neuter it. They did not make it as.
Well,
Nothing.
honestly, I was looking at it, and the only ability that they removed is the Auto Dispel. Everything else is still there.
Is it?
Yep.
I thought it didn't have the extra damage either. I thought it was just a +3 with a.
It's
aura
a
that
plus
gives
3
everybody
sword,
advantage.
but it gives 2d10. In previous edition, it was a flat +10. Now it's 2d10 radiant damage.
Alright.
I would also like to remind the table that magic in earlier editions was busted, and you definitely don't want to repeat patterns from those earlier editions.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why
Why a
like,
Holy Avenger was
3.5
considered a
became
legendary
hilariously
object?
unbalanced.
There was a reason why a Holy Avenger was considered a legendary object, only to be given to Paladin at the end of their evolution? Yes, of course. I completely agree with that.
There was also yeah. I don't know what you mean. I think 3.5 druids were completely fair and balanced characters.
Alright.
That's definitely the popular opinion.
That's a take. Definitely one
Totally.
of the takes of all time.
Totally fair and balanced. Definitely nothing wrong with them. No.
It's like they were the Fox News of classes in that edition. Fair and balanced.
George, I feel like this is supposed to be a subject that you have an opinion on.
No, I don't think Jorg ever played a druid in 3.5. I don't
I
think he ever
didn't,
made it.
but let's bring it back.
Let's bring it.
What was so OP about them?
Most of 3rd edition
That's
was overpowered.
that would be a long conversation. That
All
would be
right,
a
that'll
long
be
time.
Conversation
another
than you were
day.
prepared to stay up for.
Yeah.
That would be a list.
Uh-huh.
The 3rd edition, in general, was completely busted in every way you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright.
So with this, we're gonna give our players a little bit of a break from that fight, and we'll be back next week with the end of this fight. And you're gonna have to find a way to finish the fight and convince a dragon. You know, within a single game session. So we'll try to not be late in any way possible. Maybe we'll even try to be a little early, just to be sure.
I won't be working on Wednesday next week, so.
Ah, perfect. Then hopefully we can end this, since you managed to essentially take out 2/3 of all of his hit points in 4 rounds, and that was done in an hour and a half. hopefully you can do the same thing within an hour and a half.
Mhm.
And
then we'll fight the green dragon too and take out all his
yeah,
influence,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely. You know, just murder him because
Yeah.
he managed to
Easy.
convince that creature to be his friend. So he's probably weaker than that.
Listen, it's like with the little kid who has the big bully like to guard him or the
Yeah.
big guy to guard him at school, right? Like the dragon's super weak, so we needed this guy to guard him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
Yeah.
with this, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Hope you'll be there next week for the end of the fight, and hopefully less debating on spell rules. My
More
fault.
confusion than debate.
Yeah.
That was my fault. I should have checked the difference between the dispel magic of past edition and this edition before using that ability on the enemy. But since we've settled the whole thing, now that's not going to be a problem for next episode. So, like I was saying, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next week on Wednesday for the live broadcast. 7:30 Western time, Western Coast time, or Friday for the rebroadcast, 7:30 Eastern Coast time. Or if you want to watch me make maps and maybe do a little bit of world building, we'll see. Thursdays, so tomorrow from now, that's what I'm gonna do. 9:30 Eastern Coast time because that's where I live. Yeah, that's it. That's everything I could say. So thank you. Hope you will be there next week. If you want to support, it's very much appreciated. We've got Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, Patreon. So you can follow, leave likes, leave comments, subscribe. I even have a link for donation, so you can make a donation if you want. Become a Patreon. But if you can't do any of those and you still want to help, or you are doing all of those and you still want to help, spreading the word of the channel helps tremendously. So that's it. Thank you. See you next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Hey.